Welcome to Plus 2 Intel. This week we go way north, to the Northwest Territories. You know, that place all the other provinces keep stealing land from. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, or even a share. And don't forget to subscribe for a new fact or countdown video each week. Now here we go. Number 10, UNESCO World Heritage Site. Nahanni National Park, located in the southwest corner of the Northwest Territories, became a UNESCO World Heritage Site back in 1978. In fact, it was one of the world's first 6 sites to be added to the list. Nahanni Park has it all. There are deep canyons, winding whitewater rapids, huge limestone caves, and several natural hot springs. To top it all off, Nahanni contains one of North America's largest waterfalls. The Virginia Falls are twice the height of Niagara. Some parts of the park are so secluded and so difficult to get to, even by experienced hikers, there are areas completely untouched by man. This gives sanctuary to all forms of wildlife, from grizzly bears to caribou, and with the unique water system and constant mist from the falls, it's estimated that there are over 700 different kinds of flowers that grow in the area. 200 are rare or completely unique. In fact, when Nahanni was first explored, it was rumored that there was a tropical valley tucked away in the canyons because of how wildly unique the area is with vegetation. Number 9. Ethical diamonds. It may be a surprise, but Canada is the world's 3rd largest producer of diamonds, and if we take blood diamonds out of that picture, Canada jumps to the number 1 spot, and the best place to mine diamonds is in the Northwest Territories. There are currently 5 active diamond mines running 24 hours a day. These mines have produced over 40 million carats worth of diamonds added together, and every gem is guaranteed to be ethically mined. This means workers are paid quite well, on top of a full book of rules and regulations. The Northwest Territory diamonds are said to be far more stunning and have a higher average carat rating than gems mined from other parts of the world. This is due to the climate and the type of rock that they come from. And finally, each diamond is laser inscribed to make sure they are kept separate from blood diamonds on the market. Number 8. The Aurora Borealis. Yellowknife, the capital of Northwest Territories, boasts the best place on Earth to watch the Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights. They can be seen upwards of 250 days out of the year. The lights themselves are a natural wonder and for centuries a complete mystery. It's just in the 1950s that science was able to figure out what makes them happen. The shortened version of a very complicated answer is they are a product of many different natural phenomena happening at once. Oxygen and nitrogen in the Earth's atmosphere are bombarded by solar winds that are drawn towards the poles and sped up the closer they get. The more they speed up, the more excited the ions in the oxygen and nitrogen become, until a breaking point is hit, and this friction can be seen by the naked eye as forms of color flowing in the sky like a free river. Number 7. The northernmost town. Not just Canada, but North America in general. Inuvik is the northernmost town on this continent. Now yes, there are settlements or work camps further north, but none of those settlements are legitimized towns, but Inuvik is. This town of 3,500 permanent residents have all the luxuries of any other town. They have a central watershed, sewage system, hospital, television, phone, and internet, and a mayor with elected officials. Being so far north, the town receives 56 days of continuous sunlight in the summer and 30 days of continuous night in the winter. The little town also boasts a large Muslim community and has one of the world's northernmost mosques. Number 6. The province on fire. Each year, Canada has roughly 9,100 forest fires, and the Northwest Territories account for over half of all these fires every year. The Northwest is a very dry area, especially in the summer months. This leads to a disturbing number of forest fires. Only a bad few become massive enough to threaten nearby towns, luckily. But sadly, each year, thousands and thousands of square kilometers of forest are destroyed. It is estimated that on average each year in the Northwest alone, enough land is burned to completely cover Nova Scotia. Some forest fires can become so large that the smoke alone can cause health problems in the city of Yellowknife, and has been reported to be seen as far away as Toronto and Detroit. Number 5. No political party. The Northwest Territories is still run by a consensus government, and is not affiliated by any of the 3 big Canadian political parties. It is kept this way to keep the best interests of the people first. Because the Northwest is dominantly Aboriginal, issues such as language, education, and territory development are very important and are best dealt with independently. After the Northwest elects all its officials, there is a secret ballot to then choose what party the territory will enter the rest of Canadian politics as. Number 4. The Snow Castle. Each year, Yellowknife hosts the Snow King Winter Festival, which becomes a major tourist draw. Starting back in '96, a huge snow castle is built on Yellowknife Bay each March. Only using snow and ice as the building materials, the Great Castle has everything from an auditorium, courtyard, turrets, traditional igloos, and even a cafe. While the castle is up, there are many different festivals held inside, ranging from history to music venues and even plays. The cafe serves an assortment of hot drinks. Even though inside the snow castle is not as cold as you'd think, it retains heat fairly well without melting. Number 3. Golden Coffee. If you're Canadian, you know of Tim Hortons coffee, but in case you don't, Tim's is the largest and most dominating coffee shop in Canada. Each year it sells more than twice the amount of coffee of any competitor, so a well-run franchise can be pretty profitable. But since the mid-2000s, the Tim Hortons in Yellowknife has taken the #1 spot for biggest profit. The city has roughly 20,000 residents, many of who are avid coffee drinkers, and even people from outlying communities will make the long trip just for a cup. Number 2. Quote-unquote relations. Some odd statistics have been gathered from the Northwest. Now, all the gathered information was voluntary, of course, and can't be totally proven or disproven, but according to surveys taken, both males and females started having relations earlier than anywhere else in the country, common averages being as young as 12 years old. The Northwest Territories also has the youngest average age of parents in the country, which leads back to the first statement, I'm sure. Number 1. The big earners. We're going to end this list on a high note. Although the Northwest is pretty low population-wise, unemployment is as low as 6%, and the median household income are some of the highest in the entire country, but the impressive part is the per capita GDP. So GDP is basically a way to measure the value of goods and services produced by an area, not how much is sold, but how much is produced. Per capita means you take that total number and divide it by the population to find out how much each person would theoretically be producing if it were an even number. Now, first thoughts would be provinces like Alberta and Ontario would crush these numbers, but no, the highest per capita GDP in the country comes from the Northwest Territories. Yes, it beats even Alberta. Well, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Links to both are below.